Now, ever since Catalonia declared its intention to hold a referendum on independence from Spain, there have been question marks over whether it can survive on its own. It produces about a fifth of Spain's GDP, remember, but what would be the future for Spanish and other businesses based in its biggest city, Barcelona? Well, over the last week, they've made their intentions pretty clear. Now, Maria Ramos has been following those developments and she joins me now. Maria.
Indeed I have, and what an intense week it's been, and what a difference this week has made for Catalonia. Around 30 companies have moved their headquarters from Catalonia to other Spanish cities. Right now, Catalonia is just one step away from not having any IBEX-listed companies left. A week ago, there were 7. This was what it looked like a week ago. And now there is only one company left, and that is the pharma company Grifols. So the first one to leave was Bank Sabadell, and that left last Thursday. That's Spain's 5th biggest bank and the owner of UK's TSB. It moved its headquarters further down the coast to Alicante. Next was CaixaBank. It's Catalonia's biggest bank and Spain's 3rd largest. Its HQ is now in Valencia. Gas Natural, the utility company, moved its headquarters down to Madrid. Abertis, the toll road operator, has also gone to the Spanish capital. The same goes for Cellnex, the telecommunications company, and Inmobiliaria Colonial, the real estate company, also opted for the Spanish capital. And there you have it. That's Catalonia's corporate exodus so far.
Maria, so what else has stood out for you in terms of the latest developments?
Well, as we've just heard, Carles Puigdemont, the Catalan leader, has said that Catalonia has earned the right to independence, but hasn't categorically gone for the unilateral independent declaration. So let's see what happens now. But the biggest things, I mean, this has been such an intense week. There's so many developments. I think what really stood out was, of course, the violence. Nobody wanted to see those images, Spain or anyone that isn't, related to Spain. But also, I think the pressure from outside Spain, hearing what Macron said recently, that he wouldn't deal with an independent Catalonia, he wouldn't recognise it. And also internally, the king coming out and being so harsh. And the Spanish Prime Minister also saying absolutely no. He's been crystal clear from day one, as has the Constitutional Court. And the mayor of Barcelona, who said, no, we do not want an independent declaration of independence. So, that internal pressure has been interesting, but also seeing the streets, just seeing, these protests over the weekend, which were in stark contrast to the violence. There you had all of Spain, calling for unity, even Catalans, and that was really interesting to see people saying, I can be Catalan and I can be Spanish at the same time. So much has stood out. It's been a really intense and fast-moving week.
Maria, you've reported extensively from Spain in the past. What have people in Catalonia and indeed the rest of Spain been telling you about what they feel their future holds for them?
Well, I think, when I talk to corporate people, they say, this exodus that I've just talked about is really, symbolic when you see the headlines, but deep down, if beyond the headlines, nothing's really changed. They still have their branches there and jobs aren't being lost. What they are worried about, though, is a boycott of Catalan companies, and that's what they're worried about. Also, think about the economy and just moving away from what people are saying is, as an economist put it, Catalonia leaving Spain would make Brexit look like a walk in a park. So, that really stood out for me. But ordinary people just, sort of want peace. They just want things to get back to normal. People that I've spoken to, they're still reeling from 2008 financial crisis, and so many people are still unemployed. Let's not forget this.
Yeah, indeed. Let's go back to the companies now. What's next for these companies that you've been talking about?
Well, as I said, there's 7 from the IBEX that were there, 1 left, so they're just a step away. Let's see what happens to Grifols. But many of them were waiting to see what happens. They've been playing a wait-and-see approach. Let's see, with the declaration now, whether they continue in Catalonia or not. But it is the headquarters of so many international companies, and of course, it Catalonia accounts for a fifth of Spain's economic output. So it could be hugely damaging.
So let's just focus on that last point, Maria. What could the consequences for the rest of Spain be economically if Catalonia actually does secede?
Well, this is a question that, I think Spain is still recovering from. I mean, it's growing, but it's had a very turbulent few years getting back on its feet after 2008. So let's see what happens. But I go back to that quote from The Economist. It could be worse. It would make Brexit look like a walk in a park. So let's just see what happens over the next few days.
Maria Ramos, thank you very much indeed.